Hey firecrackers, it's Naomi, and welcome to another episode. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome. Pull up a firecracker chair. For those of you who are with us regularly, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the great interaction on social media. We love that. I always see everything, and then my social media team, headed up by the one and only Sydney Nielsen, she gets real engaged with everybody there, and I love it. One of the things I'm loving so much about the Firecracker department right now is this Artist's Way group that we started. 12 weeks. We're at week 5, and it's the most fun. I'm doing my morning pages. I don't know, for those of you who have done this Artist's Way before, I'm doing my morning pages every morning, which I'm proud of. Not so good at the artist's dates that they're, maybe because I can't really say it, artist dates. Anyway, I can't do it. I have to get better at that. But it's really interesting. And if you're listening to this and you're one of the folks that are participating in the Artist's Way, right on. Thank you so much for joining us. We're thinking about doing more of these online workshop and breakout groups. So if you're into that kind of thing, drop me a line and say, I'd love for there to be like a 12-week program on, I don't know, financing, or on writing a pilot, or I would just love some feedback of what you would like an online workshop, and we'll see if we can make it happen for you. All this to be said, I'm just digging it, and I really appreciate Deanna Moffat and Veronica Martin, who are heading that up and leading it with such beauty and such heart and such gorgeous leadership skills. I'm a fan. These two gals, I'm such a fan. Okay, I know. Okay, you didn't come to talk about the Artist Way group. You're thrilled to know about it. You're welcome. But you came because you wanted to hear about my guest this episode. Oh my gosh, this week we have actor, writer, just brilliant human and dog mom, Sarah McVie. And you'll know Sarah from her hilarious role as Val on Workin Moms. And then, because she can do anything, the latest season of The Handmaid's Tale. What? Like, that is just such beautiful extreme opposites. I just love seeing actors being able to cross both paths, you know? I don't know if that's the right expression, but I love that actors can do that. Because, I feel like actors can do anything. We just have to dig deep to find, the right way into certain roles. And sometimes, comedy's more accessible, and sometimes drama's more accessible. But in the case of the beautiful, talented, fabulous Sarah McVie, she can do it all. She's also an award-winning theater actor and a writer. What? Okay, enough. No, not enough. More. For this chat, she stopped by my LA place when she was in LA, and we just had a great time. I just love when people come over and we have like some tea and we have this chat, and it's really just like a great catch-up that I then get to share with you. She has this beautiful, cute Bichon Frise named Coco. Oh my god. And sometimes we see each other in the park in Toronto. I will give you this caveat. Early days of this podcast, I brought my dog a lot because of just scheduling and things like that. I bring my dog, and then he would whine and drive me bonkers because all the attention wasn't on him. Anyway, I've stopped out doing that. But this round, I had to have him around because it was my house. So, and he didn't like it. He didn't like the fact that I wasn't interviewing him. However, I can't imagine. That would be a very short podcast to interview Rufus. I'd be like, how's your life so far? And he'd be like, rough. I'm really sorry about that one. So sorry. Anyway, he wasn't having a great time. He's only around in the beginning. He's got some whining, and you might think it's cute. You're like, your dog's in the background. Or you might be like, it's driving me crazy, which is how I felt. But either way, it'll be like you're right there in my living room on my couch with me. Hey, that's fun. So stressful to have that wine. Anyway, I like the idea that you're joining me for these conversations, so hopefully you'll feel like you're sitting there right with us. All right, here we go with one of my favorite people, Sarah McVie. So now are you like, because you just got here in the States.
I did. Well, okay, so I landed on 4/20.
Fun.
Which was fun. Yeah. And so I, and
Are you a pot smoker?
Well, I'm actually off of it. I have taken a year off everything, like of sobriety.
Oh.
So since December 31st. But then I landed on 420. And I
right.
thought, that's too perfect. So, and I have to go, I had to check out the, the dispensaries.
Right.
So I went to one and I got some gummies.
Okay.
Which were fine. I mean, I went for a hike in the
fun,
hills with some friends, and it was great. It was great. It's nice. It's a little too overwhelming. It makes me feel a bit sleepy.
Yeah. It's sort of your day.
It's the day.
When people are like, "Do you want to smoke some pot?" And I smoke a little bit. I'm not like an avid smoker, but I'm just like, but that's my day. Like,
I know
I can't. And then maybe the next day too. Sometimes.
Really, even with pot. Yeah.
Sometimes, because then you're a little bit foggy brained.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
I'll close this window.
Oh, so since going off the sauce, since December 31st, I get up. This is the big change. Yeah. I get up at like between 5 and 6 in the morning.
Oh.
Go. Like, want to get things done. Still not going to the gym.
It's okay. Many steps.
I'm getting lots of like extra reading in.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have tons of energy.
So no booze, no pot, no men?
Oh, no, men are good.
Oh, don't be crazy, baby.
Don't be crazy.
If you had a sassy date.
More men. No, actually, the same amount of men would be fine. I went back on the apps. I've been perennially single. Is that what it is?
Okay.
I never know what the annuals or the perennials are.
Well, I feel like
they come up every year.
Are annual. Oh, yeah.
I'm annually
get
single, too. I think actually either apply.
You're just single now.
I'm single.
But you came to a new city and you're
being
like,
single.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because, someone said to me, a friend, I'll just say it was a Kat Burrell.
Yeah.
Who I'm going to see while I'm here.
Oh, love
And I said, I've got a date now, on Friday night. And she said, a date? Well, why are you dating outside of your own city? I said, I don't know. Why not?
Well, what happens if you fall in love?
Well, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I guess so.
Scoop myself an American.
Right?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I got my own damn papers.
Right.
But, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but maybe, you hear about people traveling and that's where they meet their love. Like, who knows where this guy
is? Who knows? Yeah, and you had fun last night.
He was great.
What'd you do?
Well, what we started at this really charming bar called Sunny's Hideaway.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
No, where the hell was that? Highland Park. He lives in Highland Park, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He's a musician.
Okay.
And a carpenter.
Okay.
Oh, come on. No, but then he owns his own house. I mean, in Highland Park, it was a little much.
No, he's got his shit together.
Yeah, he really does. We went to see music at the Highland Bowl.
Oh, fun. Yeah. Oh, that's a fun.
It was really, really fun. Americana. Like country rock.
Okay.
Which is what he plays. Yeah.
It's also like a nice way to see a city in a way that you probably wouldn't have.
And meet musicians. Like I wouldn't have, how would I have interacted?
Yeah.
I would have had no
And they don't, he might not know you from Canada.
No,
Workin
they
Moms.
No, they don't.
Right?
Oh, no,
so that's also, because isn't it weird if you're in Canada and they're like, hey, aren't you on that show?
It does make it a little.
It's a bit weird.
It gets weirder and weirder, actually.
We were talking about that, my friend and I, saying how sometimes it changes the chemistry, right? If somebody goes, oh, you're in that thing. I remember going to a therapist and she was like, I know you from that show, and I was like, bye. I'm not gonna, it's just too weird.
I know. Oh, a therapist for the mind.
Yeah.
Because my
chiropractor
the other day, my new chiropractor was like, I'm sorry, I'm which is totally fine. It's so new for me. Right. So it's very charming, but I could see how it would become exhausting.
No, I'm not exhausted by it, but I think my gynecologist mentioned something, and I was like, I just feel like that's not the timing that he mentioned it wasn't great either. So there was a couple, but other than that, I love it. I'm so proud that I affect people. That's all. You must feel the same way though, coming from from Ottawa, first of all, where it's a little bit of a cocoon. Yeah. And then you're you did a lot of theater and you're affecting that many people, and then Workin Moms, it feels for me that you just you just ignited. Yeah. Your career just
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we meet each other when we see each other at parties and stuff like that. Yeah. And I remember watching your stuff on Workin Moms. I'm like, where did you're so funny.
It's so funny you say that because so after theater school I went to Stratford for 5 years and I played all these crying roles. Yeah. Really
Isn't
heavy.
That funny?
A couple of lighter ones, but mostly Cordelia,
right?
Lady Macduff, and literally the weeping woman,
right?
for a whole summer.
Right.
Brothers care about stuff. Anyway, and around that time, I had an agent, and she said, you're just, I want to get you into more comedy stuff, but you're not, like, someone like, do you know Naomi Sneakus? Like, she's funny. Like, she's just funny. You're not, sweet. Like, funny like Naomi. No, but I was like, yeah, okay, I get that. Yeah, no, Naomi Sneakus.
We're in the same wheelhouse.
We're in the so I'm so happy to finally have found my ability to join you in the realm of funny women.
Well, I mean, I think it's my favorite kind of actor to have, like, what you're doing, which is, like, truthful comedy, right? Like, where you come from doing Shakespeare, and then suddenly you're like, also, I have this gift, which is a great combo.
Yeah.
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 Did you feel like when you made that transition, like, it wasn't even conscious? Because I read that you were in Ottawa, and then you're like, I'm just going to audition. You weren't even living in Toronto.
No, I was living in Ottawa. Yeah. Yeah, I was living in Ottawa.
Yeah.
For a whole other, my family's, the hotbed.
The hotbed
of nothing. But you know what? And I love my people. I love Ottawa for so many reasons. I the last thing I did in Ottawa is what brought me to Toronto. I wrote this play, The Public Servant,
right?
Which was my personal. I mean, I wrote it with 3 other women, but kind of love letter to what it is to be in a bureaucracy and to be a bureaucrat and give your life to that, because that's what my parents did.
Well, your parents did, but you never worked in that world.
No,
but you
and I can't, and I wouldn't, and I won't. I can't. It's too late now. It ain't gonna happen. But no, I have so much respect, just admiration for people that can do it,
but they love it. Some of them do. Like, some of them, that's their wheel. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for you. But then I'm like, no, you're actually,
they're choosing.
You love to do what you do.
They're choosing their life.
Yeah,
for sure.
Hopefully.
For sure. And, getting used to not knowing, like, when the next paycheck, like, they worry about money. And I go, that's so funny that you worry about money, because I have no idea what.
But did that ever, like, you were brought up with such security.
Yeah.
So that must have, like, does it still shock your system to go, okay, I don't have that security?
No, I've trained myself to not be stressed out about that. There's enough things to be stressed out about.
I love it. Tell me more.
If I can't get a gig or whatever, I will just go get a friggin' job, like some kind of, like, what was I doing last year? Between gigs for a little while, I was managing Airbnb properties for people.
Smart.
Yeah. I sort of float in and out of work.
Yeah.
Like, I was a personal trainer.
No kidding.
I was at a Good Life when I moved to Ottawa for a year.
So you have, like, a couple of skills in your back pocket.
I'll get new ones if I have to. Yeah. I tried waitressing last summer for 3 days.
How did that go?
It was awful. It was awful. I'm glad I did it. I finally bit the bullet and tried it.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
And just brings out the worst in people. What is wrong with people when they're
Where did you waitress? I guess it depends on the venue too.
Oh, Julie's Cantina on Dovercourt.
I don't know.
It's a little tiny. It's been there for 40 years.
Right.
Hilarious.
So did you, like, 3 days later be like, I beg your pardon, this isn't for me?
No, within the first day. But the other staff had quit, so they were really in a tight spot.
Right.
I was dining there and I saw the sign. I mean, this is just the way I kind of move through the world.
It does.
And it was
feel like that.
It was like, waitress needed. I was like, I'll try that. So the next night I was.
So if you met the love of your life in this city and moved here, that would actually be in line with your vibe and your world.
I doubt it's gonna happen, but I'm open to it. Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like from the success of Working Moms, do you have, like, an instinct now that has ignited that area of your work? Like, do you start to, because you create as well. You wrote your series. And
I'm collaborating with Smith.
Have you always created? Because you wrote that play.
No, when I was in high school, I wrote a play.
Yeah.
Really weird play, but a woman who, oh God, when I think back, who doesn't want to be alone. And so she meets this guy and she ends up, he moves in with her for a while. And I'm 17 years old, I wrote this. Moves in with her for a while and then he decides he wants to leave. So she kills him. I mean, what? I don't remember.
Where did that come from?
I know. And my boyfriend at the time, who was going to the sports high school, he came to see it. And I don't think he was ever the same after that. He did break up with me, which is amazing. But what was I exploring? I don't know.
But where did you get the
she didn't want to be alone.
Yeah, but where do you get that kind of instinct to create? Because not everybody has that.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
not everybody goes like.
True.
We have actor friends that are like, yeah, just my agent's not calling me back, and I'm like, well, what are you creating?
Right.
And that's in my instinct, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it comes from.
I don't know. Where do you think it comes
from? I know, actually, I was posing myself the question. I think for me, it came from a place of my mom was really creative, and I actually liked being on my own a lot as a kid. I was pretty solitary, so I would create my own worlds.
Right.
I actually produced puppet shows and things like
you
that.
did?
Yeah, I was a producer even at like 10 or 12.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a brother.
Would they participate or they would watch?
No, maybe neither.
No.
What would my brother? No, I don't think he would do either. I think he would like humor me by maybe doing a little performance for our parents, but not in that world. He was in sports and tennis and stuff.
Right.
What about you? Like
a sister, younger, and she's not. She doesn't find her. She's not artistic. Like,
right.
That's not her. Yeah, she's an educator. Yeah.
Right.
But I would drag her into things, and and she would help me out. She'd be my second for sure, and a great audience member. I don't know. I mean, I know this has been talked about a lot, but how can we stop talking about it? I think it also was a response to being picked on,
right,
and feeling like I have all this excess energy, and I'm not being appreciated or enjoyed by my peers in certain ways. So I'm gonna, make fun for myself.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Were you bullied? Were you?
Oh yeah, I was bullied. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I mean,
about my body. Just constant, since kindergarten.
Kids are so mean though.
Elephant, and tank.
Why? Because you're big. You're taller.
I was the same as I am now. I'm not. I wasn't big.
I don't think you're big.
I wasn't big. It didn't matter.
But as a kid?
Yeah. They just knew. They must have seen. And I forgive them. I hope I was never... I don't remember bullying anyone, but it's hard, hey? Maybe...
I mean, body image is such a wonky thing. Like, when I say big, I mean tall, because I don't think you're a large woman.
No, I'm not. And I look at
but
pictures
kids
and I'm
are
little.
I know. It's like...
Maybe I grew slightly faster than everyone else. That's true.
Right.
That's true. Because I went through puberty at 10.
Right.
So I was an early bloomer.
So kids would pick on you, and did you have any friends in school?
Oh, God, no, I was really popular. No, I had tons of friends. No, it's not that I was isolated. It's just in order to, it was so public, the humiliation.
Yeah.
Like the daily, there's Tank, that kind of, that McFly thing.
Yeah.
And it was right around that time, too.
Yeah.
Hey, McFly! Everyone thinks you're so tough, so you build this kind of, I am tough, and now I'm going to make 10 million jokes because if I don't, I'll start crying.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So if I just keep
that's
talking,
interesting though, because you went from that into drama.
Yeah.
You didn't start in comedy.
No.
So what was
drama.
that journey like? How did you?
It's where I did all the crying.
Right.
I mean, looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. It was. Oh, hello,
come on up. Here. There you go.
Yeah, that was a really good way to. In fact, friends of mine, when they have teens that are running into they're feeling really overly emotional, everything. My first thing is maybe drama, maybe a drama class, a serious drama class where they get to, memorize. I think I memorized a speech by Iphigenia, begging her father for her life.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, to be able to do that when you're 10, 11, 12, 13, it's such a great way to channel emotion.
Yeah. What did your parents think?
You're a sensitive person. Well, they were a bit, they supported it. They drove me to the lessons and they saw there was a need, but they're not theatrical people. No.
Were they supportive as you jumped into this world?
Yeah, being honest, if we want to be honest, and they know this, there was some hesitation when the decision was being made whether to go to a university program and maybe be a doctor or an accountant or something. Yeah.
How did you battle that?
I fought. Yeah, I was tenacious about it.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't let up.
Because
I sort of said it's that or nothing for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing dealing with your own uncertainties of that journey, of that choice, and then to have your parents going, I'm going to add to those uncertainties. It's really, you have to really want it.
If I'm being honest, and I would be honest with them about it, I only recently started to feel like it doesn't bother me anymore.
Right.
Or I don't worry what they think.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Just recently.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tricky because you need to, it's your cheerleaders. Did you have other cheerleaders that?
Oh yeah, because I went to this, I went to Canterbury.
Is that
Canterbury High School in Ottawa is this amazing arts high school.
Oh, okay. So you had people there you got this.
Yeah.
Who were your main cheerleaders?
Paul Griffin, who is still teaching there.
Wow.
Yeah, Jim McNabb, who founded the program. Those are the kind of the teachers that were a major influence. And then like an incredible cohort of people went there. You know, Martin Garrow, Matt Addison, Jessica Holmes, Kurt Smeaton.
Yeah, there's a ton
So
of
many.
Ottawa.
Rebecca Kohler.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
mean, So,
was there a tipping point? Was there a time when you were like, I have to do this? Or did you always know you wanted to do this?
do you find too, like there's been moments though where I've tried to do other things?
Yeah.
Like when I left Stratford 5 years and I moved back to Ottawa to do one show at the GC, the Great Canadian Theatre Company.
Right.
Because I wanted to branch out,
Get away from Stratford.
do some new things.
Sure.
Like, you know, when you're there, you're there doing the company. You can't do voiceover, TV.
Yeah, it's very, you're locked in.
So at 26, I was like, I think I want to do other things too, you know.
5 years at Stratford, that's incredible.
It was, lots of ups and downs.
You didn't even know how good it was because you started there.
So young.
You were like 21 or something.
Yeah.
Working with Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
Was that...
it was fraught, you know, it was not easy.
No.
Yeah, it was not easy.
As a 21-year-old navigating that?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
How did I do that? I don't know, looking back, you know, it's hard. I didn't, that was my first role.
That's insane.
And
That's
the director, Jonathan Miller, you know, of Beyond the Fringe and Cambridge and a head neuroscientist and all this stuff, he had a very specific idea of how the role was to be played. And my young self, I couldn't get my head around it. And so we butted heads. Is that me?
Sorry.
Let me just grab it.
Yeah.
So we butted heads, and he wanted me to play her as a tough, I'll use his language, a tough bitch.
Right.
Like her sisters, like her dad, you know. And I thought, but isn't she the different one? Isn't there like a heart there that's at work? You know, like compassion. Anyway, we argued and argued. But Christopher was focused on doing Lear.
Right.
So there was all this sort of complication around how to play the role. And finally I did acquiesce. He's the director, right?
Right.
So at one point he's like, do not cry. Even though Lear says, be these tears wet. Jonathan said to me, not one tear. I don't want to see any tears. Day one I was bawling. Like I said, I was the weeping woman. No problem. You know, I connect to that stuff. So I dried up all my tears. We open and the reviews, I was slammed.
No.
Sarah McVie, you know, I'm thinking, looking back, 21-year-old Sarah McVie from Ottawa really played that role like this and that. It's like...
It's so flattering.
You guys think I'm doing this? Like, how? This is not my choice.
Yeah, but you're representing the choices
I'm the one.
that you're...
That's right, but they don't talk about the director has directed. They just go, oh, Sarah McVie, no less help to him in life than death, you know, because then there's the whole dead scene at the end where he has to bring me on stage dead, and that was a whole other, oh, God.
That sounds really challenging.
It was brutal.
Because you think of like, 21, you're at Stratford, you're working with Christopher Plummer.
50th anniversary season.
Jesus.
Poster in the gift shop.
Oh my
God. It's just the whole thing is coming together. Interviews on, you know, CBC radio and a big profile in your hometown paper, the Ottawa Citizen.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, you're going, but shouldn't I at least be sad?
Yeah. Or I'm not fulfilling my creative instinct.
Yeah.
Like that to me is when, you know, like when somebody says, why don't you try this? And I'm like, I'm going to try it. It feels everything wrong. It feels so wrong in my body. Weird. And then you try it and you're like, I hope you don't use that take because it's not what my instincts are saying. And then 21.
Yeah. And then all the national newspapers and the New York Times telling you, well, that was a poor choice.
Right. It wasn't mine.
And you just go, come off
What did that teach you though? Like, what did you take away from that? Or did you get like, or were you able to?
You know, at the time I took away a lot of heartache and, because I'll tell you what the real kicker was. And the story goes on and on, but for another time, but I'll just tell you this. The show was set to go to New York, to Broadway. So when I was cast, I was asked to leave that time available and this and that. And over the course of the run, you know, because the New York Times and, you know, it's just fraught. I was replaced. So I didn't go to Broadway.
Oh my God.
But I did continue to work at the festival.
Oh my God.
Through my colleagues going to Broadway and someone else playing the role. So it was a public devastation, humiliation mixed with, this incredible coup of like getting the role in the first place after he auditioned all. It was a lot. I mean, looking back, I am thankful for it because you know what? It gave me a tough skin.
Is that what you took away? Like, did you?
Yeah, if I can move through this with my head high and keep working.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'll be okay.
How long did it take you to, like, that's flattening. Like, some people finish their careers with stuff like that.
Yeah.
How did you?
It took like really, and it's taken like, it took about 10 years to really like find that joyous confidence again that I had when I was younger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because you come across that way. You come across with such, like, on screen and in person and in interviews, you come across as somebody that just has, like, you've got it all going on.
Oh, yeah.
You're very confident. But, like, that feeling of, like, reminding yourself of when I was 21, what I had then, and how do you get that back?
How do you get that back?
Do you have any answers?
Looking for answers. Whoa. Yeah, what did I do? I mean, the best advice I had I went to a lot of different therapists, healers. I sought help.
Yeah.
And because I believe in that. Yeah. And I love to give help when I can. And, the best advice I had was this one therapist said, treat yourself like your own daughter. So tapping into my own maternal, instincts and ability to love for and care a little being. Do that to yourself. What would you want your daughter to think of herself?
That's a really good one.
Would you want her to focus on what those men thought of her or how the reviewers, painted her? Or, how do you talk to a younger person, essentially, to bring out your younger person again?
Yeah.
It's tough, though.
That is tough.
It's an ongoing,
You should have some coffee.
I just finished teaching at George Brown.
How was that? Yeah. How old were the students? Those guys are
first year.
Yeah. How was that?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
What did that teach you?
I don't even know if I've processed what it's taught me. Looking at them, I just know I can't tell you enough. You're going to have to go through some hard times. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like they're going to have their own version of being replaced in Lear. Like these things are going to happen.
Yeah.
So I just kept saying to them, do you take care of yourself? That's the best advice I have, And love yourself. This therapist that said, if you can love yourself like your own, treat yourself like your own child, you will be a better actor. And I didn't totally believe him. I was like, I don't know. I've heard that, like, when you're tortured, that's when you're really...
Right.
But he was right.
I agree with that. I just watched this panel of amazing writers talking about the value of self-care as a writer. Because you think about it as an artist, like as a performer, but as a writer, self-care so that you have the strength to stand up for yourself, to... why is that? Oh,
I don't want to spill it everywhere.
It needs a spill. So then...
Yeah, be your own advocate. Then you can focus on the work. It's like having a great team, like a great agent, manager, publicist, makeup art. Like when you have the people around you supporting you. Mm-hmm. Same way with the emotional stuff. I mean, that's what I kept trying to tell them. Take care of that stuff.
I wonder what they hear though. Like,
I don't know.
Because I know what that means a little bit now. Not a lot, but like at that first year world, what does that mean to take care of yourself?
And who knows what they've encountered so far in terms of like disappointments and hurts. But when that stuff is coming at you, it's just coming at you and you're in it.
Right.
There's nothing you can...
So what does it mean to you to take care of yourself?
It means looking inward. I mean, and checking in, checking in with myself. Yeah.
Yeah. When's the last time that you had like one of those moments and you're like, Sarah, take care of yourself?
I mean, last week.
It's a day-to-day.
Last week. I was like, is it 2 days ago? Or no, Palm Springs was great. No, it was good. I had a moment where I was like, it's constant. Yeah. I think every week it's something, and I try to avoid it. I try to pretend like, no, I'm good. I'm tough. I want to be tough.
Right. We don't want to be...
I don't want to be weak. I want to be a go, but it's not weak. It's actually beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful that I feel things. that I'm not robotic, that I'm not like impervious to the, the pain and suffering of existence. It's good.
Like, I agree with you, and there's like a world of authenticity that's coming out now. I mean, it's not anything new, but I see it a lot. And then I want to be that authentic. I'm not. I think I'm authentic, but I'm private. I'm fairly private. I don't like spill my guts on everything all the time, as I see some people do in social media. I don't think you do either.
I do it a tiny little bit. I can't do it too much because it's too private.
Yeah.
I don't. But you know what? I do it a little bit, but always I do it because I wonder. I don't want people to think that it's all fabulous all the time.
Right.
Because that's a lie.
I know.
And it bothers me that
It doesn't matter if you say, like, I'm having a crappy day. People go, yeah, crappy day. You're on Workin Moms. Give me a break. Like,
I know.
They'll belittle it. Like,
I know.
I had this other talk with somebody, and they said, they were talking about their shitty days, and I'm like, people don't even care. They think that you're on this pedestal of sorts.
All the time.
Yeah.
Well,
don't
people
you think that about other people?
Totally. Oh, totally. We have these conversations nowadays, right? Where you go, oh, well, it looks like you're having, well, that's Instagram.
Right.
The Instagram effect. So I try to balance it a tiny little bit because, like, for example, I'm writing with Dog Lady. I'm writing about endometriosis because that has shaped so much of my life. Like, every month, I'm in excruciating pain for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like this last one, I was, pardon my being graphic, but barfing from pain.
Oh my God.
It's insane.
And how long has that gone on?
Since I was 10 years old. So
That's
I started my
insane.
period. I know. I used to stay home from school in grade 5.
And what do you,
there's no
that's life changing, right? Like that.
Yeah, it shapes
you.
who you, yeah. So anyway, so I worry that there's not enough sort of like light shone on those things like that.
Yeah.
Chronic diseases. But how do you do it? I don't want to be like, shoving it in people's faces. I want to do it in a way that, well, the way I've done it is to have a sense of humor about it too.
Yeah. Well,
like to have a good balance of, it's there and it sucks, but it's also ridiculous how bad it is.
I mean, speaking about it so that people know that it exists and they're not alone. It's all saying I'm not alone, right? If I used the example the other day, like I was complaining about like a shoulder pain and somebody goes, oh yeah, I get that too. And I was like, great, it's not shoulder cancer then. Like, you just need somebody to say, oh yeah, I got that too. And so even you finding humor behind it, that's like a great use.
And I did feel alone in it. From age 10 to, well, like till recently.
Last week.
I mean, like who are the, like Lena Dunham has been really public.
Yeah.
Padma Latsky has been really public.
That's it.
I think I heard Gina Davis, but I haven't seen anything. Like it's still very rare that someone is talking about these, women's physical.
Well, I mean, my mom didn't even talk about periods.
No.
Like.
Oh, my aunt the other day, she said, oh, don't you think it's a bit much, Sarah? Yeah. I mean, we didn't talk, like our generation was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because I posted something on Facebook about I did Odd Squad.
Oh yeah, fun.
And I was in so much pain. But I told my agent,
such a
I was in so much pain. That's where I was barfing.
Yeah.
You have to be at set at 7 and you're barfing from pain on the cab ride over. Anyway, the change is I told my agent, tell everyone so everyone knows what's up.
Yeah.
20 years ago, I would just hide it. And then you're like trying to act on top of acting on top of acting.
Yeah.
Do you know?
It's such a weird thing though, because like I don't want to be perceived as the person that is like in pain. Like I don't want I want people to be like I'm good, I can be reliable, but at the same time I want people to go, this is the truth of it.
Yeah.
And I've had it before where like I've said like this is what's going on for me and been judged for it.
Oh yeah, I know. That's the
I don't
that's
know
the
how
danger.
to
I lucked out because the director, his wife has it.
Okay.
And we had a moment where we shared that. But no, it's gone the other way too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And what I used to get too when I was like in my early 20s, there's cramps, and such a reductive word.
Right.
Like it does not.
Right. But I would do that too. Like I remember people going, oh, I have cramps. I'm like, well, pop an Advil. Let's get going.
I know.
But it's not as pop an Advil. Like,
no.
It's educational to know like to what extent.
But it's also, I can still work through it.
Yeah.
But especially if I've got that support system, which won't happen all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tricky.
You know.
Why did we start talking about that? Oh, social media.
How much to share.
Yeah.
In terms of the ups and downs.
Like you're a creator first and foremost.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you're creating, your play.
Yeah.
And now I heard somewhere that you're doing stand-up.
I did try, yeah.
And that's not something that was in your wheelhouse. But I love it because you were writing your show. Right?
I wanted to test out some material. I wanted to see how a certain narrative hits, especially younger. With those shows, it's mostly younger people too. Mm-hmm. And I was pleasantly surprised that they followed. I'm in
awe that you did that.
That they followed. It was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's good though. Isn't it great to find things that are still kind of
I don't
scary?
know. I believe it in theory.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much that I do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're putting yourself out there all the time. You're trying new things, new ventures.
Maybe I don't know the opposite. Like I agree with you. Like it's good to feel. I don't know. The thing that scares me the most is public speaking. Like doing like a podium talk or keynote lectures or something like that. That freaks
how
me
is
out.
it hosting the Doras?
But that's not keynote. That's like performing.
Right,
I'm hanging out with my funny
joke,
man husband. We're having some jokes. That's not. This is what I believe in.
Keynote. Have you not done it? You've done those.
I've done one, and I've done 2 or 3, but they are so painfully nerve-wracking for me. Yeah. I'm like, why do I need to put myself through that?
Yeah.
Do you do those?
I just have the first one coming up.
How do you feel about it?
Terrified.
Yeah.
Way more than stand-up. I was like, could I just write a funny set? Or that would be slightly less panic-making. No, just speaking as myself.
Yeah.
From the heart. That's...
What's your topic?
Well, it's a breast awareness issues.
Okay.
Yeah, so boobs. I mean, I can talk about boobs.
I like that you boil it down to just boobs.
Boobs. It's mostly just boobs and boob health and, body image, confidence, stuff like that.
But it's funny because you could write yourself a monologue and perform it. Yeah. But this is like what is the disconnect? I have to address why I get so freaked out about it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe is it that now you're gonna see a different side of me that is, I don't know, not in any kind of character, and maybe it won't be funny. It'll just be, information. Yeah. Who am I to, well, actually, but I do because I teach, right?
Right.
At a university, so I have lectured, and that's been the hardest part of teaching is the lecture part, like talking for an hour. I get very you're bored of me. Let's cut away to somewhere. Yeah,
let's cut away. It's a lecture. Cut to something funny, please.
Cut to, I should have a PowerPoint. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know how to do that. But this would be handy. Yeah. I don't know. But I want to do more of it because I enjoy it. And I would like to see, I would love to hear you talk for an hour and a half.
Get so dry.
I don't know.
I lose all moisture in my mouth. I think I also put so much pressure on myself to make it so much. Like I want it.
Yeah, exactly.
I want so much, and I remember being nominated for various awards and sitting in the audience as the category comes up and thinking about who I need to thank and what points I need to make and the message behind my speech, and then eventually I hope I don't win. I'm so stressed out right now that I hope I don't win. Yeah. Thank goodness I didn't win,
Oh, you've won too. What do you do when you win?
I've won, but in the CSAs or whatever. But
I know what you mean. No,
I get so stressed out.
I know. But at the ACTRA Awards, I was there with Juno representing Workin Moms, and I was like, oh God, no, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I had that experience.
It's not that I don't know what to say. It's I have too much to say, or I want so much to convey it. I feel like we're in a time right now that we have to use our podium. And I'm such an advocate. I'm if you get a podium, you use it.
Absolutely.
So I'm Sneakers, if you get a podium, you use I put a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So how do you do it in a tight little 45-second? The CSAs were 45-second exceptions. Yeah. Supposed to be.
Right.
Anyway, that's okay. They were all great. There were some fierce women this year.
Yeah.
Speeches.
Yeah. I love it though.
Yeah.
And people just want authenticness from that kind of world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, I just love that you did stand-up. But I love the idea that you were doing stand-up, because stand-up is also something that unnerves me. And you did it as a creator. I do improv.
You've
done a little bit of stand-up.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
But here's the thing with stand-up is it's going to take some work.
I know.
And I want it to be fun right away.
Right away, yeah.
How did you find
it? So I've only done 2 sets.
Yeah.
Like, I've done the set twice. I got better. It was so much better.
Yeah.
I need to do it again.
Yeah.
I think it's an entirely new persona.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like I'm putting on a character necessarily, but it's a different part of me.
Different muscles.
Yeah. And I think I was still a little bit in sort of actor mode, and I can relax.
Right.
And get to something that's closer to like you and I sitting here now.
Yeah.
But maybe with a cocktail. It's got that feel to it. It really does. So, but I like it. I mean, because I love. I'm so appreciative of the audience on Instagram.
It's so great following.
It's so fun to have people to play with every day.
Yeah.
But then what's great about stand-up is it's immediate, as you say, gratification, reaction. So I go, that really does work. I can hear it working, or that did not work.
It's like your theater training.
Yeah.
Do you miss that because you've been doing so much film and TV?
I do. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing. Yeah, I would love to do a play. But I'm really enjoying the camera.
This is what I imagine is happening on Workin Moms set, because your bits are always funny. It's like all funny stuff gets to go to your character. And then you do your bit, and then you hear the ricochet of laughter from the crew, and then you have to do it again. Because I feel like you come in and you're just like, here's another golden joke. Here's another one. Like, they're so funny.
From day one, though, Catherine was like, the first day we shot, she's like, let's get the lines locked down, but when that's done, go. Play. So that first day just went on and on and on and on. It's really, what a joy. Mm-hmm. How did I, so lucky.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right place, right time.
Yeah, I don't know. Luck. I think it's also having the your muscles limber to jump. Mm-hmm. Like, I think you were ready. Yeah. Because you probably had done your theater and you were ready to try something new, and you're like...
Oh, you know what I did that was a real game changer too? I went and did a 1-week clown masterclass with Philippe Gaulier.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
In France?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a weird side story that I tried to take a class with him. I got to France, and for some reason, either my mistake, probably my mistake, it was canceled, or it was... Anyway, I was in Paris, and I was like, I need to take this class, and so I found another clown class in France, and it was all in French, and it was one of the best things I ever did. But it was definitely...
Yeah, I don't think it has to be with Philippe, although he was fantastic.
Great. Yeah.
But that idea of always, even if it's drama, even if it's tragedy, the playfulness of it, that was key.
Do you think you had that innately in you before?
I did, but it's the thing that got kind of smushed. He's the one that reignited. Like, I got so serious about, I've been judged, I've been, I've been rejected on a from a Broadway or whatever, all these things that we're starting to become.
Though, because that's huge.
I'm never going to be on Broadway, and that came so close to it, and that's going to define me. The sadness of that, which, I mean, it's sad, but there are way sadder things.
I mean, absolutely. Anyway, but at 21, that's like, as you said, it shapes you. Yeah. So. And then he reignited.
That playful, because he does this thing where he teases you until you're funny. And he says terrible things, but they're just outrageously funny. Like, if you're not being funny, he's like, oh, it's so bad. How are we going to kill her? Should we shoot her or poison her? And it's like outrageous. Yeah. And it really tickled me. Yeah, I really liked him.
I really liked him.
We had a good time. Me too.
If it's done right. There's some not, I've seen some not great clown work.
This was pretty simple. This was like, you're up there, when the music stops, be funny. Mm-hmm. And just hold the audience and see what happens. Yeah.
Did you remember, when you were going through that stuff at Stratford, was there anybody that gave you, like moments of hope to get out of that? Yeah?
Oh, you know who just came to mind is Peter Donaldson, who passed away. Oh,
love that guy.
Yeah, we did one of those talkbacks. The actors get asked to do those things, and it was for 30 psychiatrists from Chicago. Fun. And I'm playing. He had been in another version of Lear. He wasn't in the one we were doing, and here I am playing Cordelia, like a bitch, to quote the director. Anyway, these psychiatrists, so we sit down, and immediately they start in, why are you playing her like that? What reason do you have to, laying into me, the whole thing. so I sort of, explained to them it's the director's concept, and Pete backed me up, whatever. Anyway, the thing was over and we're walking away from it, and I just started crying. And he said, Sarah, no one is saying that actor can't act. What they're talking about is your choices, and that's exciting. That's very exciting. We're talking about ideas here, and you are allowing for that to happen. Yeah. So be proud and have your head held high. And it saved me. It saved me.
I think that kind of saved me a little bit just now. Because having that kind of permission to realize that the opposite is, oh, your performance was perfect.
Yeah.
And where's the fun in that?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's find out where, I just remember, especially in theater, when you get into, the grit of, what are we doing? And what are the choices? Yeah. I mean, that doesn't really happen on set.
No.
Because the interpretation of, jokes is a different world, but it's kind of exciting. Yeah. If you can look from that perspective, but what a savior.
Yeah.
So then now you're creating, do you feel like that's, I don't know, responsibility is not the right word, but do you feel like that's something that you need to do in your
I think so.
makeup?
Yeah. I can't stop myself. Sometimes I go for, I'll try to go, I'll just lay off Instagram. I won't write, no more jokes. I'll just lay low for few weeks or whatever, and I get through 3 days, and then I'm like, oh, but I got to share this thing because it's so funny. Or this I moved to, I don't know, write something.
Yeah. Are you one of those people that work all the time? Do you get up in the morning and start?
Yeah.
Do you get burnt out?
Yeah, and partly that's why I wanted to come down to California.
Yeah.
And just chill. Yeah.
What does it look like when you get burnt out?
A lot of sleeping. Yeah, a lot of sleeping, and
going off booze and pot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the booze, when I'm drink, I love to drink. I love to drink. When I'm burnt out, I rely on it too much to give me a boost. So it just becomes a crutch.
Yeah.
So since going off of it for the last few months, I haven't felt burnt out. I just haven't felt burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see that you're recharging? What are the things that you do to recharge?
I spend a lot of time walking.
Yeah?
Yeah. I walk the dog a lot. And it's really more for me.
Yeah.
She's the excuse.
The dog's like, I don't need another walk.
She doesn't need 2 hours a day,
Right, that's a lot.
We do, but I'm listening to, podcasts. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to the news of the day. I'm making calls. So even then, sometimes I'm working, but sometimes I'm just walking. I just love it.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't even know if this is a new thing, but because we have so much power to be able to create now, because we can just do anything. Look, I have a recorder, I have a podcast.
I know.
Boom. But now I'm able to work from 6 a.m. to midnight every day, nonstop.
Yeah.
And still have things to do the next day.
Yeah.
So my life is very out of balance.
Right.
Do you find that with your... Yeah. So how are we going to get better at that? Because it's not healthy, right?
No.
I know I came back from Canada and I was like, this is sort of... I'm living in an office a little bit here, whereas Canada, I'm challenged a little bit to garden.
Yeah.
To do something away from the computer.
Yeah.
So how do you balance?
No, and I worry, as a single person, because it's part of the reason I'm single.
Because you're not meeting anybody.
No, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I can fill my time, It's if you cancel, it's okay. I've got 10 things I want to do.
Yeah. And in fact, this better be good because I've got a thing that I'm doing that's way more exciting.
But that's great to be busy, but you're onto something here. It also means that we never schedule kind of downtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I just went in my mind, I'm like, scheduled downtime.
Scheduled downtime. I think I can hear my mother saying that. I know she's said that before. Yeah. It's important. Yeah.
So your downtime is, sorry, what were you
I still have this thing about either Saturday or Sunday morning, even though we work on weekends, right, in our industry. Sometimes it's a Saturday. I'm like, well, it's a Saturday morning. I'm going to take it easy. It's an affiliation,
somebody asked if I could meet on Sunday, and I was like, no, it doesn't mean I'm not going to work, but I don't want to meet. It's scheduling and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's a weekend.
Yeah. What was your mom to teach you that?
What was that?
What was your mom about to teach you scheduled downtime?
She's a woman of balance. She's got that kind of personality. She's an educator. She would have been a great judge too. Like she's very balanced when she looks at things.
Do you think you're balanced?
Yeah. I'm less balanced than she is.
Yeah.
But I certainly I've absorbed as much as I can. And that's been a huge help. Because I would say I tend towards more erratic and, big swings. And no, she's steady.
Yeah.
She's like a rock. I mean, she's grandmothering my sister's 3 girls and giving them all this energy, the same kind of level of energy she gave us 30 years ago, 40 years, so she's got a lot of energy and a lot of time for other people, and she's been an incredible source of like support and inspiration. Really
you seem like you come from such solid footing, which is, I mean, it gives and takes, right? Like sort of, as you said, they don't always like support necessarily because it's so far from what they.
Oh, they worried. Yeah, I'm sure they still do. We just don't.
I mean, you were on CBC though. That takes like a parent's worry away.
Yeah.
When they see their kid on CBC.
Yeah. Before the show came out though, with the little bits I was telling them, I wonder if they worried about the content and how that was going to hit their friends.
Do you worry about that kind of stuff?
Not anymore, but I remember when it first aired, it felt really groundbreaking in terms of like.
Yeah.
Nudity, sexuality, like female sexuality. I don't know. There's definitely some things there that I thought, I haven't seen that on primetime television.
Not on CBC.
Not on CBC.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's true. Things like
didn't see that
HBO,
on Little Mosque.
But
HBO, you might. Yeah.
HBO, you would. But my parents and their friends, they're not watching HBO. So I think it's been a journey.
Yeah.
And
what about you? Do you feel like, are there things on camera that you're like, I'm not going to do that? Like, are you worried about how you're representing yourself?
I don't know. I wonder if maybe I should worry about that more. Should I worry about that more? Because for me, it's like, is it funny? Is it entertaining? Does it make people feel like they can connect to it? Is trumps any kind of, concern I have about how I look?
Yeah, jokes trump a lot for me.
They do, right? I'm sure. Yeah. We're.
But at the same time, you have to trust your director, creator, right? Like if somebody goes, "Oh, this is going to be really funny,"
I trust Catherine.
Yeah,
she's never going to hang me out to dry. No, she's going to make me look good.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
So as you're creating now the dog thing, do you have other plates that you're spinning at the same time? Or do you just focus on one thing at a time?
No, I've got the plates in the air. Yeah, I've got a couple plates in the air. I'm on the verge of maybe cracking voice work in Toronto. Because, to move to a new city again at 40 is really interesting.
Yeah.
I had established myself in the voiceover world in Ottawa and Montreal.
Yeah.
So I've been a year and a half in Toronto, 2 years now back.
Right. Only.
And I've just got pinned for something today that I may or may not book.
Okay.
Which would be, yeah, things like that.
And then in your mind, you're like, I also could look for my green card and go to the States.
Yeah. Because let's be honest, it's pretty fabulous down
here. It's pretty great.
I mean, my mom grew up in she went to high school at West Beverly. My grandfather.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was a diplomat. So
are you partly American?
No, because diplomat.
Oh.
He was here on a diplomatic passport. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. It is. It's great. It's hustle, right? And I feel like hustle has like a bad connotation because it's so all consuming. And here the balance is off. And at least for me, because I came here for that reason.
Yeah.
I came here to hustle.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Toronto I was in Toronto to live.
Right.
So I haven't got the community here that's challenging my balance as much, maybe.
Right. But it sounds like it's coming together.
It's starting.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. Is community important to you? Is that like
very important.
Is that a core belief for you?
Yeah. Yeah. If I was to come to a city like this, I would find I'm really interested in what neighborhood would be.
Yeah.
And not that it has to be the hippest neighborhood, or it's fine if it is, but I just need to find people that I can relate to every day.
Yeah.
Like the dog park's been great for that. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's like a
whole
revelation.
Do you go to Doris Day dog park? You ever see that place? It's got like a little Doris Day canopy there that she's dedicated to it. Yeah, dogs are huge for that.
Yeah.
And then dating too.
And dating, that was like a revelation. I thought that was quite wise of me to open the dating app and because that date last night was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I do have a different one lined up for tomorrow night, but now I'm wondering if I should just stick to the one. I don't. Then it's like, am I getting too serious with that one? You know, I don't know. We'll see. Might be
your instincts.
1 or 2 dates through the week here is a great way to meet people.
Sure.
And people that are also single and like, what is it to live, you know, as a single person? How are you finding it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, do you want to make out?
Yeah. And then just some
and
smooches.
Then just smooch. Great. No.
So when you need to, like, you said you came here to regroup or recharge. What's something that you can do that's like more instantaneous? Like, not everybody can go like, oh, I'm going to go to California and recharge. Is there anything that you do that makes you feel like Sarah?
Cooking.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love cooking.
What kind of stuff?
I mean, I'm not a gourmet cook.
Right.
I'm not, it's not so overly complex, but I like the act of, you know, the washing and the preparing and the peeling and the chopping and the simmering and the sautéing and But I also like to cook for other people. Right. So I like to have people over.
That's fun. It's communal too, which I love.
I do spend a lot of time alone. I have no problem doing that. Oh yeah, and I travel alone. Like I some of this trip I'll be alone. I've been in Rome alone, and last year I went to London on my own. But I do love gatherings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like gatherings. I do find it's a balance, right? Mm-hmm. Those recharge me too. Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about the things when you travel, like, what's the thing you're going to take, whether it's allegorically or physically? Like, when you travel, like, what are the things, like, I don't know. Right. I used to say my sewing machine, because it would give me permission to be creative, but now I think I can get my creativity from computer stuff.
Yeah.
What is there anything?
I always have a little notebook.
Yeah.
Even though I can do it in my phone.
Yeah.
But there's something about writing, and I have so many of them. I'm one of those people, you know, that has do you have those little journals or whatever?
No, but you seem kind of old schoolish to me. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if you still had like a rotary phone. Yeah. That you're like, I just like how it feels.
I know. LP player. Yeah. You know, I've got my dad's LP player.
Oh yeah.
But no, I like a little journal, and the other thing is I have every single little journal, as far as I know, from the beginning of my time.
Do you ever reread?
Yes, I do.
And then what do you learn?
It's fascinating. Yeah. But I've always been obsessed with boys and men.
Have you?
Love, yeah. It's been a big obsession. So it's interesting to be single.
Have you been single a long time?
I've had a couple of really nice, like 3-year or 1-year, you know, relationships. But I've been single as much as I've been in relationships. Yeah, in the last 20 years.
Do you think it's a choice?
That's a good question. I don't know. I feel so open to it. Yeah. But I'm also like, it eludes me. This like, that's the one. Yeah. That has not been the case, you know?
Yeah. I mean, do you ever examine like why, like you've been into boys that much, or why boys?
I know, but boys because it started so young. Right. Like I'm just thinking of this one little journal I found. Every other page, I like Ryan. I like Matthew. You know, it's just ridiculous.
And now it's like blogging. I like Steven. I like Kevin.
Yeah. I don't know. Just a fascination. I love girls too. There's something about the opposite sex. Yeah. That's always sort of. I don't have any brothers or anything too. Like, I used to pretend to be a tomboy to play with the boys. Right. Like, I pretended I was into G.I. Joe.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Early acting exercise.
I used to dress up my Barbie in G.I. Joe clothes. Yeah. Because I was like, I don't want her to wear bikinis. You can't run in a bikini. Yeah. Although Baywatch told me that was different.
Exactly.
So it's interesting because for somebody that's so enamored with, like, relationships, and it is probably, like, the psychology, too. Yeah. But that, like, why do you think you haven't settled down?
I know. Because my parents, 40 years, they're happy. My sister, 15, 16 years, happy as ever. I'm surrounded by coupled, but I do, it might be also a little bit, I've been thinking lately, my rebellious nature. Like, right. You know, if coupling is the thing, then now I'm a little wary of it. Mm-hmm. Because, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Why? Why should it be the thing? What's the other thing? What's the new thing? Mm-hmm. I'm very, you know, and this is my, like, agitator side. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to take the status quo because everyone's telling me it's great. Right. But then I think, oh, now have you shot yourself in the foot? Because you know, the status quo might be nice.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Especially if he owns a house in Highland Park.
And is a carpenter. Yeah. Well, how is that for you, though? Like, do you kind of get to the
It's a battle.
Yeah.
It's an internal, it's like a daily, yeah. I mean, it's ongoing. It's absolutely ongoing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, we're such driven people, and then we're always looking for the balance, right? So if you kind of go, great, I got everything going on, and you're like, wait a second, I'm not in a relationship.
Yeah.
Is that something that you are constantly aware of, or do you focus on, like, I have some friends who are single that are like, I want to be in a relationship.
I have to let it go sometimes and just have a good time and just live my life.
Yeah.
If I think about it all the time, I think it'll make me sad or something.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's like a hard priority for you.
No.
What's your hard priorities?
Oh. What's your hard
Well, like, I want to be on my own show. I want to create and develop stuff so that I want to pull a group of people together and create. That's my hard priority.
Yeah, and be in charge of a team to create a show.
I want to be in charge of something. Yeah. But it's like my vision and my energy, and we won't have plastic bottles on set. Like, I want to make choices like that. Yeah. Yeah. What about you? What's yours?
That.
Well, I just answered it.
I know your thing. I want your thing. I'll do your thing. Thanks. Yeah.
What wakes you up in the morning? Other than the sun. So what gets you out of bed?
The dog. But I mean, listen. So I think I do want to create a little community. Like, I want to have like a team. I want like a team of people, whether it be, a partner, and I'm open to a child, or raising a child, having that in my life. I want to create a little unit. Yeah. But I don't know what it looks like yet.
I was gonna say, what does that look like? Because it could
right
be
now it's just
so
being a dog, and which is great. Mm-hmm. But it could be, like, for example, in Ottawa, this was fun. I own a house there, and I still do. I rent it out, but I had friends move in with me that were going through breakups or divorces, and that was like a fun time. It was like a year and a half of like a little makeshift, temporary family. Yeah, because we're friends, but we're roommates, but we're all like sisters, and we shared a life for a year and a half.
I love that.
And that was really fun. Yeah, so I don't know what shape it's going to take, but I would like maybe it's a home, like I want a sense of like, oh, that person is my home.
Right. Right. Where do you think that stems from? Is that from, like, because your parents gave you stability? Yeah. Is it that you don't have that now? So? Yeah. It is a little lonely now that we're talking, and I'm realizing.
No, I have the same realization every 3 days, but I forget. I'm like a goldfish, because I don't want to carry it with me, but yeah, it is a little lonely. So this coupling thing, they might be onto something with that. It'd be nice to have a shared experience of the world.
But we're in control. Like, if you wanted to, like, I mean, how much do you balance your loneliness? Because we all get lonely even if we have a relationship. Like, sometimes
that's true.
It's just a matter of what voids you need to fill, really. Yeah. That sounds rude, but
well, it's true. Filling the void it's part of it.
Like, you've got great girlfriends.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like, you're very close.
I have so many amazing close acquaintances in passing. Like, oh yeah, I am so rich in relationships. So what is this thing? Like, maybe it is filling the void, Literally. Maybe it is. I mean, maybe it is, and that's the other thing. Maybe it's always been sex.
Maybe, but that's not necessarily wrong.
I like Thomas. I like Mikey.
I like smooch him.
I just want to kiss. Yeah. The first time I French kissed, I was in grade 5, and it was magical. Like, I was like,
grade 5.
Come on.
Grade 5, I had a sticker collection.
On a tire swing. I know. Kids these days, they don't, not until they're 20. But no, back then, it was very normal. Yeah, not to get too intimate about sex and everything, but everything else happened much later. But that kiss was like, that was life-changing. I was like, this is where it's at, kissing. Yeah. So maybe it is just, wow. This has been a very productive meeting.
I mean, I'm so curious because I don't think you're alone in that. Like, I think, like, when you said your therapist, like, what do they say is, like, be in a relationship with yourself? And I remember my therapist said, like, what's it like to be hugged by yourself, which seems ridiculous. Oh, the vision of it, and like, it just looks awkward. Yeah. But I understand what it means. Like grade 8 Michael making up dancing.
It's not satisfying. No, but yeah. So yeah, no. Sorry, I'm still thinking about all the kissing and the boys.
Yeah.
What do we?
Well, no, I guess it's a matter of like I'm saying is you're not alone with these thoughts. Like we all have different versions of not being lonely. Like, and what does that mean? Because I don't think we are on this world to be by ourselves. I don't know anybody that can be.
No.
So, what do you do so that you can be in charge of your community and be in charge of your loneliness?
Yeah, and I mean, isn't the internet a great tool for that? And yet it has been. I found it awkward with the romantic stuff.
Yeah.
I find the romantic connecting online not great, although more recently great.
Yeah.
So I got to keep an open mind. Plus, we're so young at it. We're gonna get better and better. It would be great if there was a smell feature.
That would be great.
Huge,
it's
right?
Huge
the
for
pheromones.
humans.
Like
yeah.
I just that would be such a direct way to go yay or nay right away.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But don't you think the eyes? I was helping somebody go through their profile, and we were going through some potentials, and I was like, no, like the eyes tell me everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can just see like even their level of confidence, their level of kindness. I don't know. I see a lot.
The other thing is 41 now. When I look at someone, I see, and also as an artist, because I'm studying people, I see, oh yeah, you've got complication, just like I do. Like it's not like when you're younger, you're like hot, cute,
right,
whatever. Now it's like, oh, complex.
Yeah. But that doesn't seem to deter you.
No, it doesn't. It
maybe
just
fascinates you.
It fascinates me, but I also go, so what will be the thing that will make us want to intertwine for longer than for a while, or
40 years like your folks. 40 years. Can you imagine?
No. No, I can't.
Have you ever had the chance to have like a long-term relationship and you chose to be by yourself?
I did, yeah. When I was younger, I was proposed to on Christmas morning in front of my entire family.
Oh my God.
And bless him.
Oh God.
Bless him. He's a lovely person, and I'm we've both grown up. We were so young. We weren't that young, mid-20s. But I just knew I did not want to, but I could not say that because it was Christmas morning.
Yeah.
So, I tried it, but then being an open person, I was like, well, and I was honest with him later after I said, yes.
Oh no.
Oh my God. I said, listen, I don't want to break up, and I definitely don't want to do it on Christmas morning. So I'm open to engagement. This is sure. I mean, everything is kind of an engagement. Right?
Sure.
I mean, yeah, we're engaged. It's great. And it would have been a choice. It would have been fine, or maybe, I don't know if we would have lasted or whatever. But no, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
No. And that was a good, what I did? I took us on a trip to Dominican for a week. And I was like, before I make this decision, I need to be somewhere where we're just alone together. And it's just the two of us. That desert island thing. Yeah. Do I want to talk to you until I'm 90, 95, 100? And no, I knew right away when we got quiet that it wasn't.
That's lucky that you were able to be that quiet.
Yeah.
Because some people get wrapped up.
Yeah, I think it's a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
To be quiet with the other person. Don't you think everyone should go away somewhere quiet?
Yeah.
For a week, and after that they
decide? Or like a really long road trip.
Yeah.
Like where it's just in the car. Or not. Yeah. The road trips are tricky because you don't look at each other.
True.
Right?
So, and they're kind of fun no matter what. I mean, I love road trips. Do you like road trips?
I do. We've driven from Toronto to Los Angeles 3 times.
You've done
so
it.
I'm kind of a little bit over it. But
I want to do that trip.
That
would be a good, no?
It's like 45 hours. Like it's a long journey,
right.
But you can do it. I do like road trips. I like road trips because actually you're not facing each other and you're not on your computers. You can actually have really interesting discussions.
Yeah. No, for this it was like one of those all-inclusive. You don't have to do anything. Yeah. You're just staring at each other.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was over a buffet meal that I remember being very certain. And nothing about him. It has nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with me and where I needed to go and just,
You have such a self-awareness. Like for somebody that was brought up by civil servants, like where do you think that came from?
From drama classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had some great teachers.
I took all that to heart. That like, and sometimes, you know, I remember judging it too. This is goofy. Why am I just like lying on my back thinking about what my toes feel like?
Right.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But I also am such a studious hard worker. I was like, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I am doing it.
I'm going to feeling
my toes. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, all that time that we spent in theater school just being in our minds, in our bodies. Yeah. That's what that was.
Yeah.
It's really useful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really useful.
That's why you must miss theater so much, because you just don't have that same sort of, I mean, film, like TV and film, you sort of have to get in and out.
Yeah.
As opposed to a 2-hour in. Okay, I want to wrap up because I always talk too long, but I do want to ask you what you're inspired by these days. Like, are you reading any books? Are you watching any shows or listening to podcasts that you love, or music? Anything that you're really jazzed about?
Oh yeah, so many things. Oh God, these why do I terror? This kind of question and nothing. I mean, I'm happy to.
Is this causing you terror?
Yeah, terror. I'm like,
why?
So many things.
Oh, so many.
It's that thing of it's what you're talking about when you're waiting to go up, you know, and you want to do an acceptance speech.
Yeah.
You know, will I name the right ones? All the ones that capture the movement.
I know, but you're so much pressure. Let's just talk about like Bob's Burgers being really fun
like
to watch.
Childish Gambino.
Love it. Great.
Janelle Monáe.
Great.
Bob's Burgers I haven't seen yet.
Oh,
Isn't that terrible that I haven't? I've got to.
No.
Broad City.
Great.
Loving that last season. Yeah. I'm
like, go with your instincts. And those aren't wrong.
No.
They're just the instincts of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're literally the things I've been watching.
And plus we can say like, okay, Joni Mitchell.
Oh,
like we can get those. We know. What is something
yeah.
lately that is inspiring you?
Lately.
Have you binged on anything? You don't watch a lot of TV.
I do watch a lot of TV, but I am in and out. I flit about.
Okay, what's the last one that you didn't turn off halfway?
I mean, literally, I'm just trying to picture my. Okay, so there's the. Do you know what I do? I watch Stephen Colbert every morning.
Okay,
that's how I start my day.
Is that a good way to start your day?
I don't know. I mean, I've been doing it for a year. I've been doing it for a year, maybe over a year. And I need to reassess it because, you know, it's been a year. Yeah. And maybe I should change it up. But I listened to his opening monologue and, you know, yeah, I think it's time to let that go. Yeah, I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like, you know, with Samantha Bee, I watch her show every week. Yeah.
But you do have to challenge those routines, for
sure.
I
think it's time to let go of also because I was studying stand-up, right? I was trying to get that form in my head.
Yeah, you work hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a problem that I'm like, I'm studying stand-up, and then I'm like, I need to watch things that have nothing to do with it to have a break.
Yeah, yeah.
So even like in this world of like the firecracker department, and I'm like, there's so many great podcasts about, you know, building teams and female filmmakers. And so I can't listen to those because it's work. Yeah. I need to take a break sometimes.
You need to take a break. But then I dipped into Jane the Virgin.
Oh, yeah. You enjoy that?
I did. Yeah, I did. And Killing Eve, I love.
Yeah, yeah.
But that stand-up stuff, I've been taking a lot of that in.
Are you going to do more?
I am going to do more. I'm going to do it again when I get back to Toronto.
What's the show that you're writing? Is this the Dog Lady show?
Oh, that show.
No, I know the Dog Lady's done, but is the stand-up in order to feed that? Partly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because in Dog Lady, she is looking for a community. She's seeking, and she's... So there's something, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe she does stand up. I haven't thought that far ahead, but it occurred to me maybe, you know, maybe she's reaching out in that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
What a smart way to write, though. Like, do you write easily? Are you one of those people that...
No, I don't think so.
No, me neither.
No. It's temperamental.
So a good way to do... Like, get some words out that way and then figure out if jokes work. And,
Yeah, I really like it.
And then what's advice that you would have given your younger self?
Cultivate the confidence. Enough with the self-doubt.
I mean, easier
Just
said than done.
Keep it going. More. I would have been like, more. Do not shy away from your, you know, quirkiness and your loudness and all the things that you are hearing are not welcome.
Yeah.
Who knows what the truth is? Doesn't matter. Yeah.
I mean, that's good advice now.
Yeah, it's great advice.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel so thankful. I had no idea how things were going to go, but I am enjoying, the Working Moms is great. A couple of other things that are happening that are fabulous. Dog Lady is exciting. It's an exciting time to be alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And an entertainer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, if no one gives us a job, we have avenues to reach the audience anyway.
That's right. We can do it.
So it's pretty thrilling.
So if you said cultivate your confidence as a kid, what's your most confident moment? Like when did you feel like you had it going on?
As a kid?
Sure, or whatever comes to mind.
I mean, definitely playing Lucy in the Charlie Brown's Christmas was a highlight.
For sure.
But not only did I play Lucy, I would run off stage and play Für Elise, the Beethoven, between scenes.
Right.
So I was the accompanist?
Yeah.
And the musical director, let's say, too, and the lead, the female lead.
Right.
And that was a highlight. That was back in grade 4.
Right. I mean, it's kind of what you're doing now with Dog Lady. Like you're sort of doing everything.
Yeah, I do like doing all the things. I never wanted to be just the one part of the equation. I liked how the whole thing goes together. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited to see what you do. I feel like you're sort of in an unstoppable time right now. Like just with like the momentum of what Working Moms has given you. Yeah. I remember reading an article saying like what confidence that gave you.
Oh yeah.
And
absolutely.
Like that must feel like you can just do anything now. Like just
because the audience is there. Because now I'm connecting to people. Like especially with the Netflix effect. To meet people in the street who are touched or that, love it. And that is everything.
So much. I know.
It gives me so much energy.
Somebody came up to me in the airport and they're like, I don't want to bother you. I'm like, please bother me. This is like the best part of the career is when you know that you've affected people. Gosh. Yeah.
Do you know what sometimes happens in Toronto too, which just tickles me? Not so much anymore, but when I first moved back 2 years ago, people would stop me and go, oh my God, I know you. And I assume they're going to say Working Moms from The Public Servant. Oh. Because that was a sellout,
that was
for a theater show. Yeah. That was a huge hit. So then I go, well, that's cool too. Huh. Yeah.
How long ago was The Public Servant?
Oh, 3 years ago. Right before I started doing Working
Groundbreaking,
Moms. Yeah.
And the fact that, is it Nightwood that produced it?
Nightwood, yeah. 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 Well, Common Boots Theatre.
In Ottawa?
They're a Toronto-based company. Oh. So they kind of brought me on, to Toronto-wise. Right. And then we first played in Ottawa.
Right. Oh, I see.
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That crowd just ate it up. But so did they. There are lots of public servants in Toronto, too.
Yeah.
We're thinking about turning it into a web series.
I know. I was watching a clip of it, and I was like, this is...
Yeah.
This is a series.
Yeah. I think it could be very... I mean, obviously, it's sort of close to The Office, but very different because it's all women and bureaucracy.
Yeah, I think I was watching that thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I think, anyway...
I mean, from the outset, it feels like you've had hit after hit.
Okay, well,
right?
But that's fun.
It's sort of like, it's again the social media world where you're like, oh, Sarah McVie, oh yeah, she worked with Christopher Plummer, then she did a hit play, now she's on Working Moms, and now she's got, like that's all we see. We don't see the, Anna was saying like you don't see the fails to the win, right? Right. But every win has like a myriad of failures around it. Yeah. Do you feel pressure to knock it out of the park?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. And for myself, just to take the opportunity because I do feel when that big break happened when I was 21 and I fell flat on my face on a concrete slab is what it felt like. This feels like another opportunity to use the wind under my wings. Did I just say that?
It's
did.
Okay. I mean,
the wind under my wings because Bette Midler has been a huge influence on me.
I mean,
she has.
If only that line, everybody is influenced by her.
Yeah. But no, to use this opportunity to rise to the occasion. That's what I mean about the confidence thing. Yeah. Like, why bring yourself down? No, don't do it. What would you do for your own daughter? Go back to that. And so, seize this present moment.
Yeah. I really like that a lot. Yeah, we've got enough of like the naysayers around us not to be on that team. I'll be on the yay-sayers, not the naysayers.
Well, you are a force of positive energy.
Well, I mean, I have my days too, right? Like, I think I make the choice. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I do make the choice to choose the positive choices, the like the half full version of things. I sure work at it though.
Yeah.
It's not something that I'm like, it's a choice for sure.
Yeah, it is a choice.
And I get challenged by my own negativity, by my own self-doubt, by other people telling me I can't do. I get huge every once in a while I wake up and go, what am I doing? This is too hard.
Yeah.
But then I'd rather follow this hard path than an easier, less exciting path.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, let's just do something together.
Oh God, I would love that.
Right?
Oh my God, we will. I do
feel that too. Like
I do feel it.
Firecracker thing like has given me such a community of like women that I'm like I have an excuse to do this. Like if you came to LA, we might not have done this otherwise.
No, not in the same way.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be the same. It's great.
Yeah. I
really appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, well, I appreciate you saying yes, and I also appreciate what I see that you're doing as a creator, but as an influencer. Like you're really
Thank you.
showing the way. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doing stand-up just
good.
to create. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
More people should just jump on that.
Just to test
train.
it out, just to see what works.
Yeah.
So you know right away.
Thank you for showing the way.
Oh, thank you.
And that's it, right? My conversation with Sarah McVie. So lovely, so engaging. Again, I could call this show, I could talk to you forever, because I really could talk to any of these gals forever. I just feel like she's one of those people, I just feel like I've known her forever. She's just one of those realsies, Just a real, truthful, authentic person. I mean, we've lived near each other for so long, but we haven't had this chance, and so it was great to have the excuse. This podcast was really just an excuse to talk to my favorite people, find out more about them, and bring them into this Firecracker Department community that includes you. Yeah, you. We're all in this together. Hey, listen, you can find Sarah on social media, Sarah McVie, and let us know while you're there what you thought about the episode. I'd love to hear if there was things that Sarah spoke about that really resonated with you. What really hit your heart? Something maybe that Sarah had said. Throw a little hashtag Firecracker quote, and maybe we'll throw it into our Instagram afterwards too. We'd just love to hear some feedback about what jazzed you. Remember, also season 4. That's right, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 of Workin Moms on CBC this week, which is an amazing thing. Get started. You're welcome. And then everywhere else, because it's going to be season 4 on Netflix. So it's for the whole world, this Workin Moms. And I know it's such a beloved show, and we've had other people from that show like Kat Barrel and Danny Kind, and we're working our way through that cast, and hopefully some of the directors too. I'd love to get chats with some of the folks behind the camera as well. If you want to know more about what Sarah's working on, what she's got coming up, check out the show notes and drop a little comment. We'd love it. Thank you so much to my big Firecracker team. Oh my gosh, I couldn't do any of this without them. I'm just going to say their names, and I want you just to hear their names and know that these are all fabulous, fierce, vibrant women. Here's the team that are in LA. It's AJ Edmonds, Farah Marani, Emily Churchill, Monique Madrid, Camille Adams, Jordan Giddens, Deanna Moffat. And then in Toronto, there's a whole other chapter. And those are Joanne Boland, Anna Gustafson, Veronica Martin, Sydney Nielsen, Laura Lee Dalmaccio, Winnie Wong, Naomi Wright, Chelsea McKenzie, and Sarah Bowden. And don't forget about our UK chapter. We've got Vicky Breer over in England, and she is staying up late because of the time zones and helping us build our community. So thank you. And we're just getting started. There are people joining us all the time, and we're lucky and we are better off for it. So thank you so much for all the folks that have reached out and said, hey, I see what you're doing in the Firecracker Department and I want to help. Thank you. Maybe some of you are thinking, hey, I'd like to get involved. I really would love that. So why don't you go on over to our website, see what we're doing, and see what part kind of jazzes you. It could be something in the comedy department, the art department, the script department, the Red Point department, where we celebrate aging in the arts. Just go on over to firecrackerdepartment.com and check us out. And then drop me a line at firecrackerdepartment@gmail.com and let's chat. Go over to Instagram or Twitter at firecrackerdept. And while you're online, because who's kidding who, we're online all the time, why don't you go over and give us a little rating and review? Because it really helps us keep bringing these podcasts to you and keeps building our community. It really does. Thanks so much for listening right now. We know that you have 2 ears and there's a lot of things you could be listening to, so we really appreciate that you're choosing Firecracker Department. And we just got one better because you're here. See you next time on the Firecracker Department, everybody.